This is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this 2020 Keystone Laredo model 335 MK. So, obviously we have a living area slide out here. This particular slide, or actually both slides, are something called an AccuSlide, just so you know that that's the type you have. You can tell by the cable and the pulleys. It's called an AccuSlide. Alright, so you got power stabilizers. Alright, the switch is, when we get around to the switch, I'll show you where it's at. You don't lift the trailer with the stabilizers, obviously, you're just going to take the shake out of it. So, keep that in mind. This is the outside of your water heater. Now, the switches to operate it are inside, except right here, you can see, still got the tape on it, you can see there's a rocker switch right here, on and off. It's off right now. That controls the electric heating element that's behind this cover here, just so you know. There'll be switches inside also, but that one has to be in the opposition to run the electrical heating function of this water heater. So keep that in mind. As you can see, it's empty because the drain plug's out. Here it is right here. It's winterized, so that's why it's empty. Always make sure there's water in the water heater tank before you turn on any energy source. Alright, so don't run it unless it's got water in it. Okay, this is the vent for your range hood fan. So if you're going to run the fan in the range hood, you have to open these tabs. There's one at each corner. You probably can't see them, but there's one at each corner. And when you turn them, it allows the baffle inside to flap freely. Anytime you're venting, you want it to flap freely. Otherwise, you want to keep it shut. So, okay. You got a power awning. You also have an entertainment center out here. This you can stream off of this. You can use stream off this USB here if you choose to. It also has Bluetooth, so you can stream from your tablet or your phone. Also, this does DVDs, so keep in mind. Let's see what else we have here. Just one look. Yeah, so just TV. You got stereo speakers, obviously, and then some light here to light it up. So, okay, great. Your steps fold into the trailer. Now, if you're on uneven terrain and you need to adjust the length of the legs, you can pull these pins out right here. There's one on each side, right? And you pull that pin, you can slide the legs up and down to adjust the length of them. Alright, so you have some power outside, obviously. Let's see what we have here. Okay, this crank will work on your power tongue jack in case it fails. It's just a 3/4 inch socket, basically. So if your power tongue jack ever fails, you can pull this plug off the top here. You can see it right there. And then you can put that crank on there and crank it manually. You could also use a 3/4 inch drill on an electric drill also to do it quicker. But either way, it'll crank manually. Now, you have a deep cycle marine battery here. And then you have 2 LP tanks that are full. Okay. On this side, this is just a sprayer that attaches into this right here, right? And there's a dump hose, and there's a adapter your power cord down. Okay. Keep in mind that this one has a kill switch. It's on right now, but you turn this to the off position, and it'll kill the battery. Okay, so you're gonna have it on all the time unless you put it into storage. If you put it into storage, you can shut the battery off just so it doesn't drain down as quickly. This sets for your front stabilizers there. It's your docking lights there. Should be a rear stabilizer button here somewhere. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, I bet it's on the other side. Let me just walk down there real quick. It might be on this side of the trailer. Sometimes they'll put them over here. Oh yeah. So actually it's right here on the back. So this is to operate your rear stabilizers. Okay, back to where I was just at. So you got 3 AccuSlides on this trailer. Okay, so this is just in case you want to purchase a solar panel to charge the battery. This is a Furrion brand, so it would fit their plug on their panels, but you would plug it in there and you point it at the sun, obviously, and it's not going to run your trailer, it's just going to charge your battery. Okay, so this is the city water hookup. This is the most common way to get water to the trailer. You're just going to hook that up, turn it on, and you're ready to go. Now, if you notice this drawing here, it shows this valve. Right in this position, it's city water. So right now, we would just hook on turn on the water, and it'll send water to all the faucets and that sort of thing. So if you want to fill the onboard tank, let's say you're going to stay on a campground, at a campground that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, so you want to pre-fill your water tank, your onboard water tank, you change it to this position, and instead of the water going to the faucets, it'll go to the fresh water tank and fill it. Okay? Now this here is a black tank flush. So if you look at the sticker here, it'll say, don't turn on the black tank flush unless you have the valve open, the dump valve open on your black tank. So keep that in mind. But basically, after you dump your black tank, which is toilet water and waste, you can put a hose on here, turn it on, and it'll spray the inside of the tank out and clean it up even better. All right? Okay, so back this way. This is just cable satellite and campground cable and satellite through to the inside of the trailer. Okay? Close this. It's getting windy and cold. Feels like fall coming for sure. Finally. Okay. So this is one of your dump valves here, or your dump lines, I should say here. Let me see what I'm missing here. Hold on. Okay, so we'll walk towards the back here. There is your other valve. So your black valve and your gray valves are the actual outlets are separate from each other. This one I would say is for the galley sink, the kitchen sink, and the one that we just looked at over there is probably your black and gray for your bathroom. I'm sure it is. Okay. So you always dump the black tank first because it's dirtier water than the gray water. So dump the black first, then the gray. Just helps to wash out the hose a bit. Okay, so this is your power cord here. It's a 50 amp system, so it's a large 50 amp cord. We give you reducers to reduce it down to 30 and then to reduce it down again to 15. Just remember, you can't run your air conditioners off 15 amps, so you can run everything else if you're just parking it in your driveway or next to your house. So. Okay, so you have dual refrigerators here. These are the service panels for the refrigerator. Well, this is pre-wired for a backup camera. This takes a Furrion backup camera that fits in that housing, so that's what you want to get. We do sell them here, but no matter where you get them, make sure you get the Furrion that fits that. You have a built-in ladder, which is great because all trailers need to be inspected on a regular basis on the roof, so you want to go up there 3 times a season or once every 90 days or so. But you figure in the spring, in the middle of the summer, in the fall, you go up on the roof. You can walk up there no problem. You walk around, you check all the sealant, and you check all the for all the sealant for separation or cracking. You're going to check the roofing material to make sure there's no damage to it. Just inspect it on a regular basis. That's very important if you own a trailer. Okay, so like I said, you have 2 power awnings on this one. Alrighty. Gotta get some light in here. Okay. So, you've got the basic slide rooms here. One here, one here, one here. So I'll just we'll just do this one here. So this one is basically in and out. I'm not going to bother bringing it all the way in. But this one, you just keep your finger on the button until it stops. It doesn't make any ratcheting like some do. This is, like I said, an AccuSlide system. Also, your awning, power awning here. You have 2 buttons. You have this one here for the one right behind me, and then for the one on the slide out, you have this one here. So you can extend them or retract them. Remember, never leave the awnings out unattended. if you're going to leave the campground, you always want to roll them in so they don't get damaged when the weather changes quickly. So it's important to keep them in. Now, I told you the water heater, you can run it on gas or electric. So this is to light it on gas, you're just going to go like that. Make sure there's water in the tank, like I said. Electric is right here. But remember I showed you there's a second electric switch that you have to turn on. And that's the one outside on the lower left-hand corner. So keep that in mind, all right? This is the reset switch for the gas. If it goes off, you need to shut it off and relight it again. The water pump I told you about is right here. So you're going to use that when drawing water out of the fresh water tank. If you're at a campground that does not have plumbing, so you pre-filled your tank, that's how you would pump the water. You also draw antifreeze into the system using that water pump also. Okay, and then you have your levels: fresh water, empty, battery is charged, black tank 1 is empty. You don't have a black tank 2, so you skip that one. Gray tank 1, which is, I believe, sink and shower, and gray tank 2 would be this island kitchen sink right there. Okay, so this is a hide-a-bed. You can pull the cushions off of it. You grab it right down here, and you can pull it out, put the legs down. It's a 3-panel hide-a-bed. It's nice for a hide-a-bed. It's comfortable for a hide-a-bed. These are just theater seats here. This is a remote for your sound system. This is your TV remote, and this is your fireplace remote. So let's see what we got here. So that's a fireplace. You can see it's flashing H, which means the fan is on high. You can change that if you choose to: off, low, high. Works on 110 AC, so you can take the chill out of this room without using up your limited propane. So that's neat. You can change the appearance of your flame. Right there, dimming it and making it brighter. You can set the temperature. It goes up in increments of 5, so 65, 70, 75. It also has a timer on it, so you can actually set the timer for it to turn on or go off at the time of your choice. So that's a kind of a neat thing. Now your sound right here plays. You see, you got a slot here for DVDs and CDs. Just like the one outside, you can stream off USB. You can hook up with Bluetooth with your phone or tablet and stream that way. You've got 2 speaker zones. 1 is inside the trailer, 2 is outside the trailer. So there's a lot you can do with it. And also your TV is on a swing out bracket that locks into place, which is the best kind. So you can see that locks this way. If you can see, this barrel goes right into this clip right here. So it's hard. I'm going to have to move the camera here, but right there, locked into place. So that way it's not going to come swinging around while you're driving down the road. So that's a good thing. All right, I told you about the range hood vent outside. This is the range hood, obviously. There's the fan and the light. Remember to open the baffle if you're going to vent to the outside. I don't know if he's got gas on here, so this might not light. Might have to talk it through it. Oh yeah, he's got it on. So you just basically turn it on to light, which is a picture of the flame. Then you turn your sparker clockwise to light, like that. Okay. Now the oven is a little bit different. Down here there's a pilot light all the way to the back. I can spark this so you can sort of see it. See it sparking back there. Okay. So what you do is you go to the oven knob and you go to the flame, which means pilot. Then you depress it, just like that, like that. So you keep it depressed. Then you're going to, with the other hand, spark this until the pilot light back there lights. It won't light the first time because it's not used that often, so it takes a while to get the gas through the line. So you'll have to stop. You click it 6 times. You stop, shut it off, turn it back on again. Just click the sparker again, and it should light that time, or you might have to turn it off and turn it back on again a 3rd time. But usually by the 2nd time it'll light. As soon as it lights, you're still holding depressing this button here. So you'll hold it for 10 or 15 seconds after the pilot light lights to heat, so it can heat up. Then you go to operating temperature, and you're all set, ready to go. When you shut it off, obviously the flame goes off, but so does the pilot light. So you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Alright. Microwave works like any other microwave. This device here is your power converter. Okay, this converts 110 AC over to 12 volt DC. Okay, so you got regular 110 AC circuit breakers here, like you have at home, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted to 12 volt DC over here. You got 12 volt fuses, and they're all labeled. If any of these fuses were to blow, they'll light up actually. You can see them through this tinted plastic here, so you would know. Also, as long as you're plugged in, this will keep your battery charged. It'll sense how much energy your battery has and needs, and if it's charged, it'll just trickle a couple amps up to it. If it's low, it'll send 10 amps or whatever it needs. But it's like a battery tender more than a charger. So, okay. You have dual refrigerators. I'll just show you one because they both work the same way. This is a Dometic gas absorption refrigerator, so that means it'll run off 110 AC or LP gas. So, on, right? Then you go to auto with that button. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it'll automatically look for 110 AC. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch over to gas. But AC power takes parameters, so it always looks for that first. Okay? If you have a power outage, it'll automatically sense it and switch on the gas so you don't spoil your food. So that's why you're running on auto almost always. Now, the thing to know about this, see this says warmer and then upper, or as you go higher it gets cooler. They're talking about this thing right here, which is a thermistor, right? It's the thermistor, so you want it up all the way, and it'll keep the refrigerator nice and cool. I mean, if you're going when it's cold out and it's starting to frost up, then you can back it down, but almost always you're going to have it up all the way. That's a thermistor, and it's for to set the temperature. Okay, and this one works the same way. It's the same thing, so. Okay, got a pantry with a motion light. Okay. Let's see what else we have. You obviously can drop this table, but you pull the poles out of the bottom and drop the top onto these cleats here, and then use the back cushion to fill in the space, and you got another bed. So you have this one plus that one. All right, let me look around and see if I forgot anything. I guess I didn't do the thermostat yet, did I? So the thermostat is very simple. It's just an analog thermostat. So heat, right? Then off, then fan. Fan is just your air conditioner running without the compressor, and then cool. Try to always have the fan on auto. That's the best way to run it. Okay. And put it up to turn it off. Okay. Bathroom. Works like any other bathroom. Things to know: this is a GFCI here, so keep in mind. I mean, all the plugs in the trailer are wired through GFCI. So this trailer will have two of them. One is probably in the back, and then this one here. So even if you're using a coffee pot outside and it pops, you'd set it inside, reset it inside. The shower works like any other shower. You always want to run the vent fan with the shower to pull the humidity out, and the toilet, for those of you who've never used an RV toilet, the thing to remember is you always have to have water and chemical in the tank before you start. If I look down there, that's the black tank directly below, okay? There's the flush pedal. So after you pull into the campground, you level, you hook up your power and your water, then you'll come inside here, because your black tank is empty, like it should be. You're going to put chemical right in the bowl, whichever brand you use. You use one dose of whatever brand you use. Then you're going to step on the pedal. Water's going to come swirling out because you're hooked up to water and go right down into the black tank along with the chemical. You're going to stand on this till you put about a gallon or so of water in the tank. There's no way to tell exactly what that is. You're just going to use common sense until you figure that's about a gallon. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to remember you have to have water and chemical in the toilet when you start using it, because you can't run it with a dry black tank. Otherwise the smell will be incredibly bad, and let's put it this way, you'll never make that same mistake twice. So you always want to make sure there's water and chemical in it. Alrighty, forward. So the reason you have a 50 amp system obviously is because you have two air conditioners in this one. So here's your second air conditioner here. The controls are on the ceiling assembly. Alright, you also there's a backer plate here, and there's cable and satellite, and antenna cable and power. I guess that's right, for a TV set. This is telling you can get a router, a Wi-Fi router that goes with it. It's pre-wired for that. Okay. You have a nice wardrobe, And you have storage underneath here, like so. Okay. All right. So it looks like we've pretty much covered it. Let me look around. There's also a carbon monoxide and LP gas detector here that I just showed you, if I can find it. Oh, right here. So this device here will detect carbon monoxide buildup or LP gas. It should always be green. If it's not, you get it serviced. You can self-test it by pushing the button here. It'll go through 2 self-tests, one for LP, one for carbon monoxide, coming up. Okay. And then back to green. So if it goes off, obviously you take everybody outside, leave the door open, shut the gas off at the front and figure out what's going on, all right? So that's the LP gas carbon monoxide detector. If you hear that same beep, but it's very, very slow, it's telling you your battery's low. Okay? Alright, so I think we've covered everything. So I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Keep in mind that you want to inspect that roof regularly, just like all trailers. It's a simple thing to do. You already have the ladder on there, so make sure you take care of it every 90 days or so. Thank you very much.